welcome back. Welcome back to Shut It. How you doing? How you doing? It's been a long week, I have to tell you. This is my second cup of coffee. It's early here. It's cold here. We have great dumb news of the week for you. Let's just get right into it, shall we? I don't think you can make this shit up. Actually, you could make this up, and I wouldn't believe you. Ready? Breaking news in the New York Post. I'm a sexy farmer making 6 figures milking cows in a bikini. Haters say I have no self-respect. That's right. New York Post. The award-winning New York Post. She's milking it, says the New York Post. It's the byline. A frisky farmer is making a fortune on OnlyFans, filming herself milking cows, driving tractors, cleaning out dirty barns while wearing a bikini. Look, you got to do what you got to do. You know what I mean? It's an entrepreneur's economy out there. Let's read on. Ready? Brittany Woods, 29, says she now owns triple what she did while working as a full-time, fully clothed farmer. This is her talking, I can now make my hours work to suit myself, the New Zealander told. Oh, she's from New Zealand. It must be cold there, isn't it? Cold? Oh, no, it's hot. It's near Australia. But there's a lot of... Nobody's watching. Nobody goes to New Zealand. Do you know anybody who's ever gone to New Zealand? I don't. I know one person who had a layover there. I don't think people live in New Zealand. I think it's only sheep and a few cows, I guess, and this lady who milks them in her bikini. Let's finish. Brittany Woods says, I can now make my hours work to suit myself. The New Zealander told Caters, whatever that is, proving that she isn't sheepish about her 6-figure salary. I would love to write for the New York Post. New York Post, if anybody's watching, I could write these articles like in my sleep. And they're fun. Puns are great. Everybody loves a pun, right? Especially dads and grandpas. I got a lot of hate from women as they said that I wouldn't wear what I wear working on a farm. But all of that attention helped everything push further, she added. See, all those naysayers, all those haters gave her a bigger platform, rather. Woods dropped out of university almost a decade ago and one day hopes to buy her own farm. Good for her. I finished high school and went to university and studied business and marketing. But after 2 years, I lost interest and followed my passion for farming instead, she explained. And there's a picture of her. She's the sassy farmer. She's wearing big breeches and she doesn't have pants on. I don't know I'll put the picture up now. Oh, good for her. Look, this is the era of being resourceful. You know what I mean? Oh boy, she's white, huh? Jesus, she better put on some sunblock because New Zealand. All right, she now makes her hours work to suit herself. There's her posing in front of a bunch of cows who are like, who's this crazy bitch? Put some clothes on. They're probably like, look, we have fur. We're cows. You're probably going to catch a cold. And who's going to milk us after you're sick in bed? Much of the hate came from these women, blah, blah, blah. Okay, 3 years ago, Woods decided to start an OnlyFans account after hearing about the insane sums of money content creators were making on the site. The beauty decided to take off her usual farming attire and perform her barnyard tasks in skimpy ensembles. And I don't know what a New Zealand accent is, but the only New Zealand reference I have is like I don't know. They kind of have like, it's kind of like their nose is like, they kind of talk like this. They talk like this. Everything's really pinched, right? Okay, the beauty decided. So she says, it was quite slow. I'm not going to do it. I don't even know what a Kiwi accent sounds like. I don't even think New Zealand exists. I know Lord of the Rings was filmed there. That much I do know, but that's about it. It's probably just one big movie set with cows and sheep and this bitch in a bikini milking them. It was quite okay. I'm gonna just say it in my voice. So pretend I'm from New Zealand, and this is what she says. It was quite slow for the first year. I guess her OnlyFans didn't pick up the first year. She said she persisted in order to build up a following over time. The last 2 years, I've worked hard on it, and I don't really care what other people think anymore. But I do get hate all the time for it, she admitted. I've been told I have no self-respect and just another ran through model, but it doesn't really bother me with people that don't know me, what they have to say. Good for her. And there's her on a tractor with really short shorts. She started, now she's kissing a cow, a baby cow. All right. I think she's going to get a lot of hate from like PETA because I don't think you're allowed to kiss cows. I think that is a violation of cows. Let's read on. Much of the hate comes from female strangers, with the stunner saying fellow farmers have never had an issue with her online antics. They don't care. The other farmers are like, whatever. She was wearing a bikini. She's making money. People comment that they couldn't work with me as I'm too glamorous and they wouldn't be able to focus properly. Okay, so she's saying that, what is it? So people don't want to work with her because she's too glamorous? Well, I think it's unhealthy. I think it's unsafe wearing a bikini. Have you ever been around cows? It's all full of cow shit. I have a friend who lives up in the mountains right next to a cow farm. And it's just when you drive your car up the hill. One time I drove it up and we slid from all the cow shit. The road was full of cow shit. She got to wear big boots, a lot of big tall boots, which I think she does, but she's not wearing clothes. And in the summertime, I don't know if you know this, there are so many cow flies because of the shit. They're everywhere. So she must get flies all over her white bikini skin. Anyway, I'm a little bit concerned, not because I'm hating on her. She can do whatever she wants, but she might get some sort of weird fly bug or disease if she doesn't watch it. I would slather fly repellent. Does that exist? I don't know. Does anyone own a cow farm out there? What do you think? Do you think that are you worried about this woman who's milking cows almost naked? Can you get a disease from being naked while milking cows? I think you probably can't, but I think the flies would concern me more than anything else. Let's read on. I have considered a few times to stop doing OnlyFans and to go back to full-time farming, she said. But I have a few goals, financial goals, that I want to achieve first, and I wouldn't be able to do that from just working on a farm. Good for her. Like I said, it is a rough time out there in the job market. And I think if you can figure out your niche, you got to do you, boo. You know what I mean? You got to do your thing, whatever works for you. And for her, she's a farmer already. She's a cutie pie and she can wear a bikini and people pay for that. Now, my question is, I don't judge her. I don't hate her. Good for her. Good for you. Make that cash. Make that Kiwi cash. What kind of currency do they have in New Zealand? I don't know. I don't even think they have real money. I think they have play money. I don't even think there's a real economy. I think they just exchange goods and services with Kiwis and cow meat and sheep meat. I think that's it. If I have any fans in New Zealand, let me know if it really exists. And have you been able to leave New Zealand? Do you have an airport? Is what I'm asking you. All right. My question is this: Who? Okay, I know it's a big industry, the OnlyFans. I've never seen it, but I know it's a big industry. My question is this: there's so much content. I'm sure there's a variety of things, but what kind of a creep is specifically into bikini-clad young women milking cows? Those people should be put on a list because I think it's not right. I think there's something wrong with that just whole scenario. You know, everybody has their little weird scenarios they like, their little fetishes or whatever. This is a disturbing one. A woman who's milking cows in a bikini in New Zealand, a country that doesn't really exist. Look it up. All right. You know why we're here, you guys. This is why we're here. We're here for the comments. That's why we're here. Joe Brybin says, if people want to pay to see this, then have at it. If you don't pay, you don't see. At least it's not shoved down our throat like Kelsey and Swift. What? he's talking about Taylor Swift and Kelsey, I guess a football player. That doesn't even make any sense. All right, you need to be back on your medication, Mr. Joe Bribe. Joey iRock says, better than Tran Target stories. Nice girl. Okay, these people are creepy. Ian O'Brien says, totally. These are completely different pages of the same newspaper website. Huh? Okay. I'm going to need that spicy link, though, says doesn't matter. And Chili Palmer says, some might find her utterly appealing. Get it? I know I do. Oh, God, these are so stupid. One-Eyed Open says, if the cows aren't complaining, then what's the issue here? I think the issue is that it was a slow, dumb news of the week, and they had to have some story, and somebody picked this up, probably from TikTok, I'm assuming, and ran with it. There you go. Michael Galligan says, good for the number 4, you girl, ! Make it while you're young. And then Jim from Florida says, milk it while you're young. There you go. Florida. I did everything I could not to click on this. It didn't work. That's James Pierce. James Pierce, he comments every week. I notice that because I read this every week. I read the comments. This is our 40th episode. And if you haven't already, if I'm on your algorithm, like and subscribe. It doesn't cost you anything. I'm not gonna milk a cow in a bikini. I wouldn't do that to my worst enemy. I wouldn't show that. But I do want to see if any of you have ever been to New Zealand, and if you have, it doesn't really exist. Do you have photographs? Let's show them. Put them in the comments section. Kevin Smith says, I read that she milks a cow in a bikini. I saw no cows in bikinis. False headline. Oh, so he read it literally. Okay. Kaya Pitt says, I don't know about respect. That comes from showing good character, but we're definitely off to a good start. And that doesn't make any sense at all. Anyway, John Ferraro says, all women should look up to her. She's doing an amazing job, showing off how beautiful she is and doing what she does best. Milking it. Milking it was in all caps. He's having fun. Jay Scene says, she is a 5 at best with the shades down at 3 a.m. Jesus. All right. That's throwing shade. Moo moo on you, Jay Keen. That's not nice. She's cute. She's young. Let her go. Let her have fun. Let her milk cows. Look, why do we have to judge people so much? I find that to be a little bit disheartening. People who just throw hate on other people just trying to make a buck. This is how she makes a living, and she's not hurting anybody except for maybe traumatizing a young calf. Maybe. I don't know. Can cows even see? I don't know. Like, they can see probably like shapes. And, you know, they can smell grass. But I don't think they give a 2 cow shits if she's wearing a bikini or she's wearing overalls. I don't think that it matters. I think they just need that milk out. They don't have babies to suck out the milk, and it must get heavy. So they're probably like, there's the bikini lady. She's coming to milk us. She must be cold. But we're in New Zealand where it's really hot, I guess. I don't know. No one ever comes here. I'm wearing a cow fur coat, so I'm warm. But she must be freezing. All right. Okay. This is a new one. This is a different one. Let me just read the headline. New Orleans Jazz Festival 2024 lineup, Rolling Stones, Neil Young, and more. There's not a whole lot of jazz this year, but there's a whole lot to like. Rolling Stones, Neil Young, Crazy Horse, Earth, Wind, and Fire, and the Beach Boys. Okay. Who the fuck is going to go see those people? I thought they were all dead. Like, I don't even understand it. I don't understand how they can still be touring. They're 100 years old. Who's buying their tickets? They start at $106. You know why they keep performing? Because the only people who can afford to buy tickets to see them, to pay those prices, are baby boomers. Because they're retired and they own all the real estate. So they're like, I don't know, I can just take out a second mortgage on one of my 10 houses and go see the Rolling Stones, who are 100 years old. and reminisce about what it was like back in the early 1900s when we had no electricity, but we had the Rolling Stones. Who's going to see the Rolling Stones? That guy, okay, can I just say something? I went to a concert in Switzerland a few years ago, and one of the headliners, I swear to God, was Neil Young. And when I say it sounded like, has anyone ever heard a turkey in the morning, like gobble gobble? They make a sound. It's almost as if someone's being like choked to death. It is the most horrific sound. That's what sound. It was a huge concert. It was at the Palais. It's a huge outdoor concert in Switzerland. And when I say it was the worst, all he did was him and a bunch of his old geriatric friends. And yeah, this sounds ageist, but believe me, there's a time to stop some things, okay? And I think it's time for them to stop. They were in a circle, and all they did in the very beginning for 20 minutes was like tune their guitars, their electric guitars. And it sounded as if, you know, when you have like a 4-year-old who's like, oh, look, I can play piano and guitar, and they can't, but you pretend that they can because they're 4 years old. Well, that's what this was like. And then when he finally starts singing, it sounds like a turkey being choked. And when I tell you, the entire stadium just left the field. They did, in droves, thousands. He started singing. It was so unbearable that the entire audience left. Could you imagine if you were trapped in a stadium listening to Neil Young? Ugh, that sounds like, I don't know. Why do these guys still keep touring? Aren't they billionaires? And do they listen to how they sound? They sound horrible. They should be home under a cover, sipping tea, watching, I don't know, bird watching or something, watching documentaries. They should not be out performing for thousands of people, charging starting price $100 a ticket. I guess it makes the baby boomers feel like they still got it. Maybe that's it. That's a niche. I don't know. I'm confused. If you guys, would you pay $100 to go see the Rolling Stones and Neil Young perform? If so, why? Are you into sports, or do you hate yourself? That's the question you should ask. Maybe you hate yourself. Maybe you should start milking cows and go travel more. Go to New Zealand and tell me if you do. Tell me if it exists. Look, I know they are huge in the heyday, the Rolling Stones, Neil Young, even Madonna, who isn't even that old. But she's just, I feel like you hit your game, right? It's really about your vocal talent. You know, Pavarotti, he's somebody who toured until he had a heart attack, right? Because it's all about the instrument, the voice. But you have somebody like Neil Young who already couldn't really sing. And now he's old, so he's got that, and it sounds like a turkey who's being strangled. Now, I think people are buying these tickets because in their head, they're listening to the album that he made like 40 years ago. Hey, hey, my, oh my, rock and roll will never die, but I'm going to charge $366 and do this when I'm in my 80s. Yeah, so they're thinking, oh, wow, I'm like 16 again listening to that. You know, I think Neil Young should take his own advice. I think he should take his own advice. Is it better to burn out or to fade away? I think he should burn out. Just stop. Burn out. Sit in front of the sofa, watch The View. You know what I mean? Don't tour. Stop. And Madonna as well. Apparently, the other night, Madonna is being sued by New York concert fans for starting a show 2 hours late. All right, stand in line, get behind Lauryn Hill, Madonna. And there she is, Madonna. She is looking... Look, I'm not going to judge people for the way they look, but I feel like somebody has to tell her no. I think she has too many yes people around her. I'm going to say it. She has too many people going, oh yeah, no, that looks great, Madonna. You should totally have a bigger butt. Because it's normal for somebody in their 60s to have an enormous butt. You should totally do that. It's going to make you look amazing. And then Madonna's like, you think so? Okay, I'm going to do it. And she did it. And she showed up 2 hours late because she probably can't walk after all that stuff she put in her junk. You know, she probably needs a wheelchair. So these guys, they're suing the Material Girl because she showed up 2 hours late. Madonna's 65. They had to wake her up. Okay, so they are suing her because the concert didn't end until 1 p.m. or 1 a.m. and they couldn't get a subway back to their house or their apartment. Well, maybe you shouldn't be going to see Madonna concerts. Maybe it's time for you to just watch, go to the opera during the day. Go to a matinee. Go to Lincoln Center and go see some opera. Maybe you shouldn't be out that late. Okay, the concert was supposed to start at 8:30. Madonna started at 11 p.m. That's kind of late. And the whole arena was chanting bullshit. The whole entire arena. Bullshit at her lateness. Great show, but went way too late, one person tweeted. I don't give a F if you're Madonna, tweeted another. If you're 3 hours late, you're just effing rude, someone else tweeted. I love Madonna, but it's really effed up how she's literally like 2 hours late for the first show in the U.S., tweeted another. Yeah, that's right. She had to postpone the Celebration tour in June after being in an induced coma for 48 hours while hospitalized for bacterial infection. The fact that I'm here right now is effing a miracle, she told the fans at the Barclays Center show. Oh, so that was her excuse. She said it's an effing miracle. Madonna ticked fans off further in 2019 with her response to an earlier lawsuit provoked by her tardiness. Here's something you all need to understand, she told the crowd at Las Vegas Coliseum, and that is, a queen is never late. Ah, God, that's gross. All right. I think she should learn her lesson from Lauryn Hill as well, both of them. They should start their own show. Actually, they should start touring together because both of them are always late and they can barely sing anymore. So they should just do the Lauryn Hill Madonna tour. And the show starts at 3 o'clock in the morning. And everybody gets like Ensure, some geriatric stuff. They get, what would the merch be? The merch would be compression socks. Their merch would be like little fans because they're high. Maybe like a little buzzard in case you fall. Oops, I fall and I can't get up. One of those kind of things. The merch would be 3 a.m. is when I wake up. It should be the 3 a.m. that when I wake up tour. You know what I mean? Because, you know, when the older you get up earlier. You don't need to sleep as much. So they should start their tours at 3 a.m. There you go. Look, I can help you to rebrand yourself. Reclaim your brand. You messed up your branding. Lauryn Hill did the same exact thing. Lauryn Hill would show up 4 hours late. And then when people complained, she would tell them to go F themselves. Just like Madonna. And both of them, but I think they would fight, like, who goes on first? Madonna would be like, I'm the queen of pop. You go on first, Lauryn Hill. And Lauryn Hill's like, oh, but I won more Grammys than you've ever even been to. And it'll be like kind of a cat fight tour. They should call it the cat fight tour, the Madonna Lauryn Hill cat fight tour. And every night it switches. Madonna goes first, and then Lauryn Hill closes. And it wraps up at 6 a.m., so everybody can go to work. Nobody's going to be late for work. They just go straight from the 3 a.m. to 6 a.m. Lauryn Hill Madonna tour. There you go. Problem solved. Have you ever gone to see Madonna live? Has anybody out there ever seen her? I've never seen her live. This is a true story. I was back in Philadelphia at my sister's house. I saw something online that Madonna was touring and she was coming to Philadelphia. And I was like, oh my God, tickets are so cheap. For some reason, I was like, tickets are so cheap at the Spectrum. It's a big stadium. It's like where the 76ers play. And I was like, we should go because the tickets were like, I don't know, $25. And I went online. This was like in the beginning of the internet. And I got tickets immediately. And I was like, this is incredible. Like, we're going to, look, I was never a big Madonna fan, but it was back in the heyday. This was like during her, I don't know. It wasn't Vogue. It was after Vogue, but it was like her disco phase. Anyway, this was in the late 90s, so she still had her game, and I couldn't believe it. I got 2 tickets, one for my sister, one for me, $25, $50 for both of us. We're going to see Madonna, and I finally, I get the ticket, I go to print it out, and then I realize, no, dum-dum, it's a ticket to get a tour of the Spectrum during the daytime at $25. And I was like, who in their right mind would spend $25 to have a tour of an empty arena? And then I thought, what a genius move there. Because how many dum-dums like me are out there who would think, oh no, it's on the same day as the Madonna concert, but it's like in the afternoon. So they must make like millions of dollars off of that scam, of all like capitalizing off of all the dumb people like myself who go, oh yeah, let's go get some Madonna tickets. Oh no, read the fine print, you idiot. It says a tour. You're paying for a tour of the Spectrum before the concert even begins, and you got to leave before it starts. Lessons learned.